hate Israel because they hate all Jews.
And now for the clip of all clips, ladies and gentlemen. So I just want to provide some context before we play this next clip. This clip is the reason the show is named what the show is named. This is Israel Unmasked. The show is about how Israel is coming out and saying that Trump is under Iranian, Russian, whatever the fuck, mind control technology, offering to push back against that mind control technology by using the same technology on the president to put him in the middle, right? Look, the only thing we can do to fix you is just bounce you back a little bit with the same mind control technology. Now, the original post is, I believe, some Israeli official news broadcast. It was in Hebrew. We didn't want to read the subtitles, so we did have it translated into English, and we do have some AI narration over it. So don't be off-put listening to AI narration, but we thought it would be easier to hear it in English than Hebrew and have us kind of fumble through the subtitles. Watch.
Changed his position. It's not exactly telepathic powers, but electromagnetic powers. The Russians have it, the Koreans have it, and the Iranians have it. I know it sounds like I took it from some fictional movie, but it's really what's happening on the job now. They are working with this weapon, and in my opinion, they've injected these waves into the brain. I don't exactly know. It could be that even in Russia, when he was in Russia, it's very easy, even from the routines in Washington. Sorry, China. They hit him in China. They can see this weapon from the routines in Washington.
So Yuri, why don't you activate?
Yuri, why don't you activate your telepathic weapon, your electromagnetic weapon, to rebalance it?
Believe it or not, they asked me to do it, and I'm working on it. He asked me to share with you where the request came from. Yes, there are things that I can't reveal, but we're working on it. And I'm saying that there's a serious change in Donald Trump very soon.
Also, tell us about his deputies. This is the same story.
I'm not allowed to accept a gift.
So, we have official Israeli national television claiming that while Trump was in China, he was brainwashed using brainwashing technology, and that he, this Israeli speaker, is working on a solution to use the same technology from the Israeli perspective or special interests to counterbalance the brainwashing that the Trump administration, including President Trump, has experienced. That's fucking crazy.
Well, I mean, there's a precedent to this. If you study some of the publicly known projects that come out of DARPA, there's brain chip interface, there's genetic ways to do this, viral manipulation ways to control someone's mind. You can do it via sound waves. So maybe
you can show an incel your pussy.
What'd you say?
Nothing. Go on.
If we play clip 116, it's your favorite. Danny Jones, mind control. This is an expert on the subject.
Hell yeah. Love fucking Danny Jones and Julian Dory.
Been working on the same weapons, directed energy weapons, often referred to as DO, mind control weapons. Chinese are working on them. The Russians and U.S. have had them for a long time.
Bless you.
Dial-in lethality that is what's happening oftentimes for those that show mild traumatic brain injury. It can be done through cavitation effects using sound waves, highly unlikely in the Cuban embassy attacks. And it can be done through microwave directed energy if it's amplified. In fact, there's something called the Frey effect. The Army had it on their website called V2K, and that's how a lot of people refer to it.
This is an old episode of Danny Jones when he still had Concrete as the title.
Head.
Yep.
You can't plug your ears. It actually vibrates the brain, which is like many concussions, through the small pulses that expand the tissue and then contracts it, then goes to the inner ear where they can hear it. If you just turn that up, it causes brain damage. You're heating the brain.
And there's precedent for these types of systems being deployed. If you remember Havana syndrome with our diplomats in Cuba, they were getting hit with all sorts of different microwave directed energy weapons, and they were getting cancer, turbo cancers. They were
not to mention what our government's been developing ever since MK Ultra. It's not something exclusive to any nation in particular.
Well, MK Ultra is just an algorithm now. That's fucking 60-year-old shit. That's nothing now compared to what, quiet weapons for silent wars.
By the way, shout out to Ron Coleman in the house. Ron Coleman's a listener here in the space. Old friend of mine. I love you, Ron. Miss you.
Oh, I thought you meant the bodybuilder, Ronnie Coleman.
No, but I mean, I'm sure that Ron could kick his ass.
Hey, what up, Ron? Look, you look like Santa, Ron.
Ron Coleman's a famous free speech attorney. Brilliant mind. Old friend.
Wow.
Everybody should follow him, by the way.
Yep.
I'm almost positive he's a Zionist, so he'll probably piss a lot of you guys off, but he's still a friend of mine, so.
We accept all views here, and we don't censor anybody.
No, we love Ron.
Yep. Yeah, there's a couple more clips about the history and the precedent, the different types of mind control weapons there. If we can play clip 117, DARPA brain chip.
Love it.
Journalist and author Annie Jacobson
I already love this clip.
has unveiled some more controversial projects you may not like.
It's called
And it comes
Fox.
from DARPA, or Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency.
There's a moth. So there's a Mandica sexta moth. That's what it's called. It's a large
I'll show you a
moth.
Mandica sexta.
And DARPA scientists put brain chips into the larva. When I went there to meet a DARPA scientist who was working on an artificial brain for DARPA. And that little wasp drone there being shot off the arm of an operator it weighs just a few pounds, and it has some of the most incredible technology. This is called the Modular Advanced Armed Robotic System. It can kill a human target 2 miles away.
So they were putting, this is the mechanical interface, in my opinion, because I have it in a 3-part system: mechanical, genetic, and viral. So in a mechanical system, they were able to put this chip in the larva or the moth itself, and the moth was actually able to control weapon systems.
That's wild.
I don't think it knew what it was doing, but isn't
It's
that
just fucking blown up every light bulb it can
Yeah,
possibly
just
see. It's like that
fucking-
one, that one, that one. Boom, boom. It's like Dumbledore in the beginning of Harry Potter, just zapping lights, bro. Just zapping lights.
Wingardium Leviosa? Hey, do you guys want to know how they do an abortion at Hogwarts?
Oh my god.
Fetus deletus.
Oh my god.
Anyways, clip 118, DARPA, genetic and viral.
Imaging. In 2019, a team of 6 researchers received funding from DARPA under the N3 program, also known as Next Generation Non-Surgical Neurotechnology. They were working on a brain-machine interface. The team was led by Jacob Robinson from Rice University.
We've been able to manipulate viruses so that they can introduce new genes that give cells the ability to do things that don't.
The idea encompasses instantly reading soldiers' minds using tools such as genetic engineering of the human brain, nanotechnology, and infrared beams. The ultimate ambition, you might ask? Weapons controlled purely by thought. This is how it works. Robinson and team use special viruses to carry DNA into certain brain cells. This DNA then prompts these brain cells to produce 2 types of proteins. These modified viruses, along with tiny magnets, are then injected into the bloodstream. Just imagine a unique protein that acts like a light-absorbing sponge. This protein is making brain cells react to magnetic fields and light. Then, a special headset equipped with lasers, light sensors, and electromagnets is used to detect and stimulate brain activity. The helmet also has detectors that can pick up the signals coming
Look,
back.
and it's not just the proteins. They've been able to scan brains and have people picture certain things and determine what they're picturing, whether it's a tree, whether it's their mother, whether it's an object, whatever. They've already been able to do brain scans and map how the brain looks when it's thinking about specific objects or things.
Oh yeah, which region lights up?
Yeah, exactly, based on regions. And it's even more specific than that. It's not just like a quadrant. I mean, it's like hyper specific based on combinations of regions and things like that. They can pretty much render. I've seen experiments where they've been able to successfully render and print an image that matches the image that the person was thinking about. It's like blowing all the subjects' minds.
I mean, it'd be a combination of Project Bluebeam, nanobots, genetic, viral, bacterial, mechanical. So yeah, they can get in that little noggin of yours 5, 6, 7, 8 ways to Sunday, which is why you should be worried about COVID-19.
And now Israel is officially claiming that China is using this technology to manipulate the president and his administration. And their suggested solution is that they counterbalance it with using the same technology against the president.
And they don't want
But
us to
they're our
believe.
greatest ally.
Yeah, that, and they don't want us to believe they have a Goy beam. You got a Goy microwave beam too, boy.
Shit. What's next?
It's a little less anticlimactic, so it might not make you come, but it's 119. Tucker supports J.D. Vance.
Okay, so this comes a day after he said that he's no longer going to participate in the GOP.
Well, will you support J.D. Vance? I think he's great compared to Rubio.
Obviously, he's great compared to Rubio. Obviously, look, I'll support the best person. I always have liked J.D. Vance enormously. I think he's really smart. He's in an impossible situation. I think he's doing his best. I strongly disapprove of, obviously, as I've said 100 times, of this war and of what.
Oh, I love how Trump and others have been blaming Vance when he's volunteering to go stop it, when internally it's confirmed he tried to stop it just like you did. I love how the guy that was right, he's the bad guy now and the war is his fault.
Oh, we always, it's the people who tell the truth who are punished. It's the people who try to do for selfless motives the right thing who are punished.
Well, there you go.
I think I chased your friend out of here.
Ron Coleman?
Yeah.
So?
Okay. I don't know. I was looking for the guy that looked like Santa, and he was gone. Gone, baby, gone.
He just came for the shout out and then wanted to leave. Typical Zionist. I'm just kidding, Ron. Love you.
And then pivoting away from the juice. 120 House votes to curtail Trump's war powers, mostly ceremonial, but worth noting.
The war in Iran began, lawmakers on Capitol Hill delivering a rebuke to the president.
Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
4 Republicans siding with Democrats as the House voted to direct President Trump to either withdraw forces or get approval from Congress to continue the war. It's a largely symbolic vote with little chance of passing the Senate. The White House brushing it off, saying President Trump will continue to protect our national security using his constitutional authority as commander-in-chief. The ceasefire with Iran appears increasingly fragile. An Iranian drone slamming into Kuwait's airport Wednesday. 1 person was killed, dozens injured.
Is the ceasefire with Iran still on?
Well, you know, there's a reason for everything. And we hit them pretty hard the night before, and actually last night.
We won the war 41 times, baby.
I love winning so many times, dude. It feels so good to win and just play again and win and then just play again and then win and just play.
We just can't stop winning. Someone in chat says they just saw an announcement that Trump said he's now bombing Iran again.
Wonderful.
Is this win number 42,
Win
baby?
number 42, baby! He's not going to stop until he gets 47.
So that at the time of this original report that from the clip we just played, it was the House votes, but then the Senate voted today, I believe, and this is the results of the Senate vote, which also passed 121. Let this one play out all the way.
Comrades 86 directing the president, pursuant to Section 5C of the War Powers Resolution, to remove United States Armed Forces from hostilities with Iran.
It's all right. She's so boring.
Under the previous order, there will be 6 hours of debate only, equally divided between the leaders or their designees.
President.
The Democratic leader.
Madam President, for years, Trump promised to put maximum pressure on Iran, but he ended up delivering maximum confusion, maximum chaos, maximum cost to the American people with his disastrous war. Every second this war continues, the cost to the American people
he's not wrong about this.
And this is the 10th time Democrats have forced Republicans to vote on a war powers resolution to end the war.
If you look at the burner knobs, they're all off.
This is when he tried cooking cheeseburgers.
So that doesn't make sense. The dogs are already cooked, but the burgers are raw, and there's cheese on there, and he has moves. The whole thing is just distracting.
Shout out to the time that Chuck Schumer tried cooking cheeseburgers on the grill. What a fucking weirdo, dude.
All right, what's next?
More geopolitical news. Poland is threatening to withdraw support from Ukraine now, calling them Nazis. They've essentially annexed the western half of Ukraine administratively because they're holding a large amount of Ukrainian refugees as Polish, essentially, citizens now. They're not returning.
How big a deal is it that the Polish government came out? I mentioned earlier, you didn't get into it, that Poland came out and said, we may not support Ukraine anymore because of their Nazi worship. They even used that term, and Lavrov said, finally, you face the reality. I mean, it really is Ukraine's main engine is left over from World War II, pro-Nazi, the grandsons of this. I mean, that's not some Putin propaganda. For God's sakes, a couple of years ago, they had the SS officer who literally ran mass exterminations on record. None of the Jewish groups wanted him getting a standing ovation at Parliament. And they said he fought the Russians in World War II, as if someone with a 70 IQ should know, yeah, against Hitler. So how big a deal is it that Poland did that, A, and then someone moved to Israel, and then B, you said 6 months ago, 4 months ago, look, Putin's going to get more hardcore soon. Then they started saying that. He has done that some in response to increased Ukrainian bombardments, but I guess we don't know a timeline on when Russia would launch a more of a blitzkrieg attack.
So Viktor Bout is a big insider in the Russian government. He used to be a former arms dealer. We had him in custody, and then we traded him for Britney thing goes. But the interesting thing here to note is our source, shout out contact in Ukraine, that lives in Kyiv and has fought on the front lines. He was saying at the rate of attrition currently, the Ukrainian front lines are subject to collapse by as early as September.
Yeah.
And then you can see
because of the attrition.
Yeah, the terrorist tactics going back and forth now, eye for an eye at this fucking point. Obviously, Ukraine's done it a lot more, but Russia's not holding back either. They're hitting civilian infrastructure left and right,
I think Trump's going to let Russia have it.
It seems to me like our little thesis might be playing out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Russia gets the geopolitics.
What's next, Bacchus?
This is kind of a more boring clip, but I'm from Massachusetts, so I wanted to play it. Clip 123, Amazon displaces workers ahead of Amazon Prime Day.
Amazon's Prime Day event kicking off, and Fox Business is getting an inside look at how AI-powered robots are transforming the company's operations. Lauren Simonez is at an Amazon robotics lab in Massachusetts with more. Hey, Lauren.
Dagan, I am at the robotics lab where Amazon designs and builds every single robot it uses in its warehouses worldwide. Okay, this is Sparrow. It's heavy. It has 7 fingers here that can attach to and move 80% of the items that Amazon sells. I say 80% because it doesn't have a thumb yet, so we're stuck at 80%, not at 100 yet. What this does, it attaches to that yellow elephant trunk-looking arm over there and uses AI machine vision to identify the object, suction it up, and then sort it into the appropriate
yellow
bin.
elephant trunk. Yeah,
Wow.
So as soon as that thing gets a thumb, if you work at Amazon warehouse, you are fucked. You are absolutely burnt toast as soon as that fucking thing gets a
You know how
thumb.
pissed off the employees without thumbs are that they got fired?
Probably fucking.
They're like, what the
eat it."
fuck? What the fuck? What do you mean I can't work? What else am I supposed to work? All I can do is pick up packages. What am I supposed to do?
Oh my god. And we'll keep going. Okay, so maybe we should activate chat after this clip.
Yeah, let's do it.
Clip 124, Mamdani got questioned about sanctuary cities. He got asked about the candidates. They all endorsed the sanctuary city position. So, yeah.
One thing I do want to
Our
make
favorite
clear
Muslim
that I find
mayor.
unacceptable in our city is the attempt to use the term Haitian as a slur. The trafficking in anti-black sentiment and narratives that we have seen specifically in New York 13 when it comes to Daria Lisa Avila Chevalier is something that I cannot stand here and say is in line with the values of the city. Let the arguments that are made for who deserves whose vote be on the basis of the race itself, not on the race of the candidates.
He's playing race
or
politics
on what
so
communities
fucking
they are
hard.
alleged to belong to. And I think that it has been quite troubling to see that in the last few days.
Oh my God, who does that?
Mamdani eating rice with his hands. How fucking gross.
With a Charlie Kirk level fucking lapel pin right there.
Look
Be
at
careful,
that.
bro.
He's just raw dogging the shit out of that. I have to do a quick shout out. Humble Hash gifted us, sent sunshine for 200 joules.
Fuck yeah.
And then somehow that converts to dollars.
Yeah.
But it's different from a super chat.
Yeah.
Thanks
for the jewels.
Thank you for the sunshine and the jewels, Humble Hash. I don't quite. And then he sent us stars. He sent stars for 2 jewels. What the fuck is going on here?
You can buy like a bunch of jewels and then you can gift them to different channels and then they're convertible into money.
Why wouldn't they just stick with the super chat system?
I don't know. Just say thank you.
Thank you, Humble Hash, for the sunshine, jewels, and the stars. Thank you, Wobot, for subscribing to be a level